Hey guys, I'm back with another video. I just wanted to give you guys a few tips for protection and dispersing negative energy. Number one, spiritual baths at the end of each week or as needed. Because over time of like absorbing other people's energy, especially if you're like a healer or a Reiki master, or you just work in a busy environment, or you just feel you need that cleanse, you can do those things as regularly as you need to, because over time the buildup of all these outside energies tend to cloud your aura. So make sure that you're doing your cleanses, taking your baths, try to shower before bed, if possible. I know sometimes you might be tired, but if you are a spiritual worker, you really need to be bathing before bed. Number two, protection amulets and crystals. Now, protection amulets could be like the evil eye pendant that dispels evil energy that's shot at you. Black obsidian is a stone or crystal that transmutes the evil energy. What I really love about black obsidian is that it'll suck up the negative energy and dispel it, transmute it, delete it basically. That's why I really love black obsidian. The next crystal that's good is tiger's eye. This is a very protective stone and it brings in good fortune. The next crystal is amethyst. Amethyst is good for protection, sobriety, connection to the high vibes. So it's really good to like sleep with amethyst, or like say you're going out and you want to go drinking and you have like an amethyst bracelet or necklace. It's good to wear that so you don't get too faded, but still, moderation. But amethyst is really good for connection to the higher realms and your spirit guides as well. The next crystal is clear quartz. Now, clear quartz is like an all-purpose crystal. It amplifies the energy of any crystal you put near it. It's also good for clearing and cleansing you as well. You could even bathe with clear quartz in like warm or lukewarm water and just kind of like absorb the energy. You can also get like, I don't know if you guys saw my live where I had like a crystal bottle water bottle. You can get different kinds of crystals to charge your water as well. Crystal quartz is good for that. The next crystal is black tourmaline. This is a good stone too to help with negative energy, but the difference between black tourmaline and black obsidian is that where black obsidian can transmute the evil energy or negative energy and dispel it, black tourmaline doesn't really do that, but it can still block negative energy from coming, from encroaching on you. But it's still good to kind of wear that black obsidian. If you can get black obsidian over black tourmaline, I think you should. Okay, so the next thing that's good for clearing negative energy is Florida water, and we all in the spiritual community know about Florida water. Florida water is good to put in your spiritual baths. It's even good to just like when you get out of the shower, rub yourself down with Florida water if you feel led to. Another one is rose water. That comes in the same kind of like form as Florida water if you're not familiar with it, and it's like a good cleanse for yourself too. It's also good for attracting loving energy. I like the rose water paired with the rose quartz if you're gonna do like a love bath. The next thing about the rose water is it's like it will sweeten your aura. Now another thing you can do is like we talked about the baths and the showers every day, especially before bed. And when you do rub that Florida water on you after your bath, it's like a protective shield. It really dispels the negative energy. Now, number 5 is positive thoughts and visualization. see the life and energy that you want to embody. So one of the ways to dispel negative energy is to not always focus on the things that you don't want. Don't always focus on the past things that have already failed or already left you. You know, you have to be visualizing where you want to see yourself. What do you want to feel like? And really start to reprogram yourself through visualization so that you can get back to those good vibes. Number 6, self-care with the intentions to be free of all negative energy or even evil energy from others, or evil energy that you could just have been like embodying for so long due to like defeatist mindsets. So you want to start taking really good care of yourselves. And when you do the spiritual baths and you cleanse your home and you cleanse yourself, that's really just self-care. So really just keeping like a regimen, really making like your self-care a sacred like ritual that you do with yourself, and in order to pour that love. That's that healing when you're just doing that self-work. So self-care is extremely important because the better you look, the better you feel, and the better you feel, you start to want to like do those things more to keep that upkeep, you know. Number 7, dedicate time to your spiritual practices. Sit at your altar, feed your altar, even in times of prosperity. Now, if you don't have an altar, it's like sometimes we only go to our guides or the Most High when we're like down on our luck. Making time for your spiritual practices is doing acts of gratitude for yourself or your ancestors or your altar, even in times of prosperity, even when things are good. Always keeping that energy of gratitude going. Don't only go to them when you need something. And part of that dedicating time to your spiritual practices is that self-care as well, because if you start to make your self-care a ritual, then you'll always kind of like make time for that. You'll do the facials, you'll do the baths, you'll take care of yourself and get yourself out of any slumps, because when you're under spiritual attack and you're under negative energy, you tend to lack on self-care, which just compounds the problem, because when you're not as polished as you normally would like to see yourself, it can affect you mentally as well. Number 8, cut off negative people, liars, and frenemies. That's one of the main things that tend to hold a space for negative energy in our lives sometimes, is our associations and the people we call friends, our family, just our lovers sometimes, you know, like we just hold on to these people because of the sentimentality, but we know that sometimes these people don't mean us well. So their energy can definitely be rubbing off on you. So you always want to make sure that if you like if you have a dream or something and somebody always got like a naysayer attitude, you need to remove that person so that you can prosper, because that negative energy will always keep you having self-doubt if you're not armed, you know what I mean, with that protection and that energy of taking care of yourself and just standing in your power. And sometimes when you're weak, that's when we're more susceptible to negative energy, when we're not taking care of ourselves and setting healthy boundaries. So definitely set those boundaries up. Anybody in your life that's always bringing negative news to you and keeping you down, cut them off. And don't feel bad for removing people who are not evolving. Number 9, be mindful of the energy you're putting out, because it might just be your negative energy being returned to you. So that's where we're just being conscious of how we are coming at people. What are we thinking about when people tell us their dreams? You know, we have to always be mindful of what we put out or what we have put out, because sometimes things that we've put out to people in the past comes back, and then we're like, oh, what is this negative energy? But it's just something you may have in passing gave to someone else for no reason. So always be mindful of what you're putting out too, so that you're not attracting more of that to you. Number 10, don't attach to every spiritual teacher or entity that is made available to you. This is very important, especially with so many spiritualists now these days, presenting themselves to you, or a lot of people have been saying, people have been like messaging them and trying to get them to patronize them and stuff. It's like you have to be mindful. Go with your gut. No spiritual teacher needs to contact you. Your guides and your spirit will lead you to who is right for you. And you don't have to drink from every cup. You have to be very mindful. Like, be sure that you're using discernment as well when you're hearing messages or seeing things and reading messages and all of that. Like, make sure you're using discernment, because some people are on different spiritual paths, and it may not resonate with your soul and your soul's journey. And you don't want to just be attaching to everything, because then you're welcoming whatever else is attached to that into your life. And sometimes that can bring negative spirits, negative energies, and just negative people. So just be mindful that you're not just like attaching to every spiritual teacher you see or every reader you see. Observe from a distance and sift through and keep the things that are needed to be retained, and then discard the rest, you know? So the last one, number 11, protect your homes with sage, palo santo, and salts. Don't invite just anybody into your homes or your bed. Stop giving everyone access to your body or sacred spaces. Like, not everyone needs to see your altar. Not everyone needs to be at your altar, touching the things in your sacred spaces. You have to really start being very protective of the energy that's welcome into your home, because it can definitely leave energy behind. And one thing that's important is not always giving everybody the benefit of the doubt, because that just creates room for more doubt. And it's like, you could see someone's true colors, and then based on how you are being empathetic or sympathetic, you might, okay, well, maybe that was just that one time, and then the second time be the worst, you know? So it's like, really start being discerning about who you're allowing in and around you. Okay, guys. Oh yes, I also wanted to say, just follow your intuition, because you don't want to weaken your barriers. When we don't follow our intuition, we weaken our barriers, and then it's always hindsight that makes sense. All right, guys, so I hope this video helped. Thank you for listening. If you got this far, this was just a few tips to clear energy. I'm sure there's more. You can drop some in the comments if you have anything else that may help you to share with others. All right, guys, love you. Sending you love, peace, and balance.